Today we're going to talk about
Wait till she finishes pissing.
It's a manja. Today we're going to talk about smoking in winter conditions. Fuck me, why did I wear slippers for this? Hey up cock, how's the doing? I'm Matt, aka the Smoking Yorkshireman. I love food, I love travel, and I'm here to combine the two and show you that smoking and barbecuing doesn't have to start and finish in the good old US of A. So step one, you need to make sure you get yourself a decent cover that will cover your smoker from the elements. Not having it iced on like this one. Decent cover, step one. Step two, make sure you get the right equipment for the job. So in these types of weather that you can see around me, you need to be cooking with a Kamado. There's different brand names of Kamado that you can get. I've got an Acorn char griller. It's got to be a Kamado. It's double skinned, it'll keep the heat in. If you've got an offset smoker, like I have for the summertime, you're pissing in the wind if you think you're going to low and slow in this weather. By all means, get the grill on, have a bit of barbecue. Don't even attempt any long cooks there, you're just going to lose too much heat. Okay, so now we need to talk about fuel. So cold ambient temperatures, your smoker is going to use more fuel than it would do in sunny conditions. So generally, if you were doing a low and slow cook, so around about an 8 to 12 hour cook, you'd be looking, in good conditions, you'd want a chimney full of charcoal. In cold conditions, you're going to use more of this fuel source. So what you want to do right from the start of your cook is make sure you've got plenty of fuel to go with. So what I'm going to do, set a chimney going, and then we're going to fill it up with the rest of the charcoal to make sure we've got plenty of fuel. We've got some of these home fire Twizzlers. These are really good fire starting aid. Just a bit of wood covered in wax. So you can see they take fire, they take light, really easy. Pop that in. We're going to put our charcoal on there and let that get started. We've got the charcoal chimney in there. Another quick tip, fully open your bottom vent. That's going to get plenty of airflow through, up through your chimney. You're going to get it anyway from the top, but it gets you a nice dragged airflow coming through, gets your charcoal started really quick. So we've got the chimney going now. What we're going to do to add that extra winter fuel source, fill around this chimney with plenty of lumpwood charcoal. So I always use lumpwood because it's natural. You're not going to get that horrible taste that you can get from some cheap briquettes. So you want to leave the lid up. It's important to do that because you want to get as much airflow through to that chimney as possible. We're going to leave this for about 10 minutes. You'll know it's done when you're seeing the nice white hot coals. Right, so they look about ready. What you want to do is pour them in there now, and then make sure you're giving them a good stir around. Don't worry about if these coals, obviously they're not lit at the moment. As your cook progresses, this is a fuel source that you want to utilize later on in your cook. So I like to put the lit coals close to the air vent here, so you're still getting the first part of air coming through. Another top tip, make sure there's no snow on your grill when you grill in winter. Another tip that you need to know, even if you are experienced at barbecuing in summer conditions, you're going to need to open your vents up a little bit more to get that temperature and airflow through, just to keep that temperature within your Kamado. So if you're smoking on a windy winter's day, you want to try and shelter whatever you are barbecuing or smoking with as much as possible. So you can do that just by putting it in a corner, just keeping it sheltered out of that wind. Right, and the final tip to have a successful winter smoking is you need to get yourself a grill thermometer. So this will tell you the temperature, what's actually happening here rather than in most Kamado ovens, you will get a temperature gauge at the top. So like I said, we need to be measuring the temperature of what's actually happening around where our meat's cooking. So simply add your meat thermometer into there. You're ready to go. So on almost all Kamados, you will get an inbuilt temperature gauge, but the flaw with this is it's just giving you a relative temperature of what's happening in the chamber of your cook. What's more important for you to know when you're doing a low and slow barbecue is making sure that the temperature around your meat is the right one for you. So you don't want to go too high, you don't want to go too low. And I'll show you in a little bit the temperature difference that you can get between here and here. Right, finally, let's have a check on the difference between the temperatures on the grill and on the inbuilt temperature gauge. As you can see, we've got about 210 Fahrenheit and just over 100 degrees Celsius on the actual inbuilt temperature gauge. Right, and compare that with the grill gauge, which I'm getting 241 Fahrenheit. So that is around about 120, 125 Celsius. So there's about a 25 degrees Celsius difference there. So that's important because the reason you're cooking low and slow at a certain temperature is to get that length of cook, to make your meat nice and tender. You could end up overcooking your meat because the temperature that you think you're cooking at is not the actual temperature that your meat's getting to. So if you found this video useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell. You'll get notifications of when my new videos are coming out, one a week. And I'll see thee.